For the last 4 months, we have been sailing with one hand tied behind our back. Today that changes as we cross the Bahama Bank and finally make use of the largest sail in our inventory, the Spinnaker. We are Paige and Daniel, living aboard and traveling with our Great Dane, Winston. Last year we set sail for the Bahamas with the goal of exploring beyond the horizon. This week, we chart a course once more for New Providence Island and enjoy one of our fastest sailing days ever. We're getting ready to go to Nassau today. We're going to be staying in the West Bay Anchorage, which is on the far west side of New Providence Island. It's going to be about a 50 nautical mile trip, but we're going to get an early start. It is just barely breaking light outside, and but it should be a gorgeous sail today. Fingers crossed, we'll be getting the Spinnaker out.
Yeah, it'll be the first time we fly a Spinnaker ever. So, yeah, it should be a good day for it.
All right, so it's super still this morning and the bugs are beginning to go insane. So we want to get out of here as soon as possible. One of the nice things is that the water is so super still and so there's not a lot of wind pushing us. So we're just going to be able to just slowly, softly, ideally drift off the dock.
Well, that's the plan at least. And we always make sure that everything goes to plan. But these bugs are getting wicked bad. So let's get moving.
But it is a bit swirly once you exit the, once we pass these last channel markers. It shouldn't be anything we can't handle. Now we can leave this early in the morning because on our early route, we don't have a lot of rocks and bommies to make it through. So we're not really concerned about shallow water or any other obstacles in our way. So we don't necessarily need that visual highlighting rule. Okay,
Ready?
let's raise some sails. My first step is to watch the batten. I want to make sure all the battens are cleared from the lazy jack. And then I start looking for the reefs. The battens are going to get caught up on the topping line.
Good. So I am going to take the boat off the wind a little bit to make sure that it stays on the far side of the topping line.
I see reef two. Now, what's happening right now is that the third reef is getting hung up. It seems that it is, for some reason, it's all tightened down and we have to make sure it's nice and loose and still tight. You want me to go forward and pull up? No, I'll go forward and pull up. Alright, that looks looser.
Okay.
Alright, let's bring her up the rest of the way. Reef 3 is still tight. Alright, so I'm going to go forward and loosen up Reef 3 and Reef 1. Goodness, we don't usually have that many problems raising this thing. Alright, let's try again. Alright, so now that I have Reef 3, 2, and 1 visible, I'm going to be looking at the mast because the winch, the electric winch will just keep going, so I have to keep an eye on it so I don't over-winch it. And that looks pretty good to me.
And we also want to keep an eye on where the mast and the sail meet. This is called the luff. So once that luff is nice and tight, we know that we're maxed lift is what controls the boom. So as the sail is up, it's pulling up on the topping lift, so we ease the topping lift in order to get that boom back down. So all the weight, the sail is taking all the pressure.
And just do it nice and slow.
And there's not much movement to it.
And that's just fine. That's the way we like it.
Yep. Go ahead and pull back off now. Get us back on our course.
Alright, I'm putting on the main sheet so that Daniel usually handles the main sheet while he's at the helm. He will ease it and bring it in as needed. Go ahead and lock down the opening of the main sheet. Alright, so that means our main sail is up.
So I'm going to move the Traveler over first. On the catamaran, especially this one, the Traveler acts more like your main sheet, and your main sheet acts more like your Fang/Traveler. So we're going to move the Traveler first.
I'm all over it. With the mainsail all the way over to the port side, the luff is on the port side. We are going to bring the boom also all the way over to the port side. There we go. Just like that.
Just like that.
All the way over to the port.
So we also make that determination based on our wind instruments, but we also have an electronic readout here at the helm station. As you see, it's indicating that the wind is coming directly off our starboard side. Now, here's the trick. This is only apparent wind, so it's what the boat can see the wind is doing, which actually lies to you on where you should put your sail. So the wind is actually coming further behind us because we're traveling forward. I know it's kind of weird, but it's what we have to do. So we set our sails for what the wind actually is, which is more of a broad reach instead of a beam reach.
What helps with the stern wind is it tells us, we can kind of predict when we do tack or change course, which direction the wind is coming from and what we need to be doing with our sail.
So yeah, at this speed, we'll get there at around 12:30, 1 o'clock tonight. So yeah, we don't want to be there tonight. We want to be there this afternoon.
But we haven't put a head sail or a spinnaker out. So that, I think, is the next step.
I think you're right. Let's try and fly this Spinnaker. Exciting.
It is exciting, but a little nerve-wracking because we've never done it before. So this might be a comedy of errors.
All right, so this is our Spinnaker halyard. It goes up and through and down, and this is what we're going to raise the Spinnaker with. So I'm going to pull on this. We're going to get the whole thing up. Then we're going to run our control lines, put the tack on this side, put the Spinnaker sheet off on that side, and yeah, then just unfurl the sock, and that should be it. Fingers crossed, right, Winston? That's right.
So we're keeping our Spinnaker stored in our second cabin. That gives us great access to this hatch, as well as I can just connect it and then we'll hoist her up. And so it's feeding through the front bow, and Daniel's bringing it all the way to the cleat. Excited and nervous.
Well, we were doing a measly 2 to 3 knots, and now we are doing almost 5.5. I think, yeah, I think that's Spinnaker right. Turn off the engine. Have to play with the trim and see what we can get out of this thing.
Yeah, like I said, this is our first time, so we're learning as we go. knots are we going?
6.7 knots.
That's wild.
And 8 apparent. So, yeah. This is nice.
We're flying.
We are flying. Our ETA is now 3 p.m.
That's better.
Learn how to fly the kite. It's fun learning a new sound. Makes you think.
We also have 9 knots of wind now, though, so
Yeah.
that helps.
That does help. If we could keep this up, this would be great. I would not be opposed to this all day.
Okay, so we're trying to decide when and if we should take down our Spinnaker. It is lovely, although the wind is kind of picking up.
Yeah, most folks recommend, and I don't know 100% of the details on our Spinnaker. Most Spinnakers are made with 3/4 ounce cloth, and kind of recommended to take it down around 15 knots apparent. So we're basically using 12 knots apparent as kind of that, let's really start looking at it and see what the conditions are going to be like, and maybe start looking at dousing the sail and just run under main and head sail. But I've only seen it hit 12 once. We seem to be maintaining pretty consistent 10. We'll just see. Been starting around on us a little bit. So. Trimming that spinning. Good shape to me. What do you think?
Yeah, she looks beautiful. Okay, we are almost there and we are flying along. It's really exciting to have this Spinnaker out. We finally got up the guts, the courage to actually try to fly her. And these are amazing conditions for this. So we're super stoked about flying her in the future. And now that we have a little bit more confidence on what we're doing.
Yeah, just got up to 11 and a half apparent, and we hit 9 knots, and we're just cruising. So this is great. It adds a lot to our bag of tricks. So
that's why sail inventory is so important. Having various sails for different conditions, it's finally making sense.
Okay, so that little scrap of head sail that we lovingly call a jib just can't perform in these kinds of conditions. So not like this. They look like big ocean-going barges, so I don't know if they have any power or crew or I don't know what they are, but we'll just steer clear. Hopefully not get into their wind shadows. That would suck.
And we're gonna bring her down. Gotta bring her in. Now we are looking for our anchorage. It is supposed to be up past this rocky point and around the corner there. So we'll see. And that, my friends, is West Bay. There we go. So we're going to tuck up in there, at least get rest for the evening, and see if we can keep going tomorrow. Where are we calling home tonight? I'm lining up with this guy here. All right, backing down. Looks good. We made it here, and we're just relaxing and making the plans for the next hop. We are on our way back to the States, so look at this dog. Look at him. Guys, we fed him already. You already ate. You're hungry. Your hungry is all done. Yeah, your hungry is all done. So we're making plans for our next jump on our way to Florida. And we were thinking we would go to the Berries and then to Bimini, and then from Bimini over to West Palm. So after looking at it and looking at the weather over the next 10 days or so, I think our plan is going to change, like vastly change.
Yeah. We were sailing today and we're like, yeah, we can just keep going. Let's just keep going. And then we get here, settled tonight, and we're like, no, we just need to keep going because this is like the next highway. So, because this is the next window of opportunity for the next 3 to 4 days for like the next 10 days. So yeah, we're going to pick up from here tomorrow at basically the crack of dawn, and we're just going to go until we hit Florida. That's kind of the plan.
So yeah, we're thinking that this will take about 34, 36 hours, just depending on how well we sail and what kind of time we make. But today we made fabulous time. And tomorrow should be more of the same. And yeah, tomorrow night and the next morning, and we should be there before we know it.
I think by this time tomorrow, we're going to be sitting in Florida. Or no, I think by this time, the day after tomorrow, we're definitely going to be sitting in Florida. Crazy.
Go ahead, like and subscribe to join us in our next adventure.